Howdy YouTube. I'm finally lying in my very own bathtub. This is the first time I've had to lie in my very own bathtub since I got home yesterday morning around 2. And it feels wonderful. I've got lavender water going and I'm just chilling. I've debated whether I should make this video or not, but I think I should because I have learned and continue to learn so much about the world and about myself as I do the YouTube thing, and I think this is an important lesson that I've just learned, and I want to share it with you. For those of you who followed my trip, I was trying to upload at every major place and some minor places. And I would make comments as I was driving through areas, commenting on the scenery or the place itself or how the place felt or what the weather is like, blah, blah. But I was driving through an area of the country and I was talking about how my impression, my prejudice about the place and my actual experience of it were very different. I had expected a certain kind of vibe, a certain sort of people, certain kind of buildings, and what I got was entirely different. And I said it in what felt like a joking way. Well, what was a joking way, but it was also insulting. And a subscriber, I hope she's still a subscriber, because I really like this lady, she sent me a private message and pretty much tore me a new one about being, how I hurt her feelings about the area that she lived and other stuff. And my gut reaction, I mean, the first thing I thought as I read this was, I was just being funny. I didn't mean to be insulting. And then the next thing I thought was, okay, so how is it funny to make snide comments about anything really, anyone, anywhere, that suggest it is or they are somehow more than you had expected them to be, or which is a kind of a backhanded compliment, but it's still an insult when you get right down to it. And I thought, well, nah, she's right. She's absolutely right. So I went back and I looked at the video and I thought, oh, jeez. So I wrote her a very sincere apology. And I continued to think about this. Why? This is something I mean, those of you who watch me know that humor, however funny it actually is part of my thing. It's part of what I do. I crack jokes about everything. And probably most prominently, I crack jokes about myself. I'm very self-deprecating. And then I'll crack jokes about other things as well. So why is that? I mean, why do I do that? Why is that part of my personality? And which brings me to the mask that I'm wearing. It occurs to me that behavior is a mask. It's a way of hiding insecurity or stress or when I'm not feeling 100% in control, I can make fun of myself and, you know, the next guy sitting next to me, and somehow that puts me back in the driver's seat, especially where, like, haters and trolls are concerned, because I know my way around the English language, and I can probably insult myself 10 times better than any troll or hater could, at least anyone I've run into so far. So I dispense with that right up front. It's not an issue. You want to call me fat and old and ugly and anything else you want to call me, I've already figured out a way to do it that's probably more eloquent than the one you can come up with. So, and I've done it on camera more than once. So, that is a dodge. That is cloaking behavior to do that. And it's something I only developed recently. I mean, I've only been this way for, I mean, by this way, I mean, I've only been using humor to hide behind for, you know, maybe the past 5 or 7 years. It's not something I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I just suffered in, you know, clenched tooth silence, you know, through things that would happen to me, instead of dealing with them or like I'm doing now, kind of being aggressively preempting strikes the way I do now, or just standing up for myself. I never did. So this is a coping mechanism that I've developed, but it's not a very good one. And the kicker here, the irony here, is that I just recently did a video about, oh, I can't remember her name, Nicole somebody, who had done a humorous comedy video entitled Dear Fat People, and it was a very cheap shot, low humor. It was not unique. It was just embarrassing and bad. I thought, anyway. And essentially I'm doing the same thing, maybe not to the same degree, or with the same motivation, because this gal is really beautiful. She's very pretty, very photogenic, so that and she's an entertainer, so that's what she does for a living, so, you know, chances are she's not hiding. This is just her shtick. But anyhow, or she might be, I don't know. But that's why I do that. And although I haven't gone back and looked at all the other videos, as I've been thinking about this, I've been thinking about other things I've said, comments I've made about stuff that could really be construed as insulting. I never meant them to be insulting, but that doesn't matter. Just like there are sins of commission, there are also sins of omission. And just like there are insults that are designed to hurt, there are also insults or left-handed compliments that you think is kind of creating an even playing field. Well, I make fun of myself too, so making fun of you is just you're just part of the group, ha. It doesn't work that way. Those kinds of comments don't read well often to others. So that's the thing I've learned, is that everything that comes out of my mouth, I may have to defend it or apologize for it. And in this case, I didn't defend it because this viewer was absolutely right. I should have been more careful. So that's one of the things I've learned on this trip. Ever since I've gotten home, I've been depressed, and I was depressed before I read this gal's message. That wasn't really part of that, but I've also been feeling kind of emotionally unstable. I feel like there is a lot that I have to uncover that occurred while I was gone. A lot of things that made me see myself, my life, my behavior differently. And Abigail was right by my side. I mean, I don't know if she's seen me at my best, but she has definitely seen me at my worst, particularly in the past 5 weeks that we've been together. So I'm sure she'll probably weigh in from time to time with a comment, you know, Cheryl, you really ought to think about this. When you do this, you might want to, you might want to change that behavior. So it'll be interesting to see what she comes up with. So to wrap all that up, this trip wasn't just a vacation. It was I was really going to school on a lot of things. Myself and my self-awareness being one of the big ones. And I think that's how we do it. I think we do it in relationship with other people. That's how we really learn what we're about, the wonderful things about us, and the things that we need to change, that stand some improvement. So, gentle viewer, whose name I am not going to say because you didn't give me the permission to do it, but feel free to weigh in with a comment if you want to, and own this apology because it is yours. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for hurting your feelings. And, you know, anybody else, if I said stuff that even though it was inadvertent, it was still thoughtless, forgive me. So, on that kind of weird note, but sincere note, I will say bye-bye, YouTube!